Maya rendering settings. Update Maya's default render settings for better results. Configuring Maya's rendering settings is very important simply because the default render settings are pretty atrocious. The resulting render is unlit, low-res, and the edges are aliased, jagged. By reconfiguring these settings, you'll be able to generate decent-looking preview renders to help you gauge your progress. Activating the Mental Ray Renderer. Creating a quality render requires complex lighting and shading techniques that are way beyond this video tutorial, but by simply switching from the default Maya renderer into Maya's Mental Ray plugin, we're heading the right direction. To activate Mental Ray, we need to open up Maya's render settings. Go to Window. Then Rendering Editors. Then Render Settings to access the render globals. Use the drop-down menu as shown in the image to access Mental Ray. Mental Ray comes packaged with Maya, but it doesn't always load by default. If you don't see Mental Ray as an option in the drop-down list, go to Window. Then Settings/Preferences. Then Plugin Manager. Scroll down the list until you find Maya.mil and click the Loaded checkbox. Close the Plugin Manager. Setting the resolution and camera. Make sure you are in the Common tab, still in the Render Settings window, and scroll down until you see the Renderable Cameras and Image Size sections. The Renderable Cameras tab allows you to choose which camera you want to render from. This is handy if you are working on an animation project and have multiple cameras in the scene, but for now, just leave it set to the default perspective camera. The options in the Image Size tab let you change the size, aspect ratio, and resolution of your image. You can set the image size manually in the boxes highlighted as shown in the image, or you can use the presets drop-down to select from a list of common image sizes. You can also increase the resolution from 72 to something like 150 or 300 if you are working on a print image. One final thing to be aware of in the Common tab is the File Output tab, which you can find by scrolling back to the top of the window. Under the File Output tab you'll find a drop-down called Image Format where you can choose between numerous common file types, .jpeg, .png, .tga, .tiff, etc. Turning anti-aliasing on. Switch over to the Quality tab in the Render Globals, and you'll see that the software is currently using the Draft preset. Right now the things to be most aware of are the Quality presets drop-down, and the Min and Max sample level input boxes. Min and Max samples controls the anti-aliasing quality of your render. Increasing these values will help Mental Ray produce a render with crisp, clear edges. Go into the Quality Presets menu and choose the Production preset from the drop-down menu. Among other things, the Production preset UPS the anti-aliasing quality of your render so that every pixel is sampled at least one time and up to 16 times if necessary. The Production setting also turns on ray tracing and increases the quality settings for both shadows and reflections, although this won't come into play until you start the lighting process. There are disadvantages to using the Production preset. Overall it is less efficient than setting your values manually because it uses high-quality settings even when they're not necessary. In this case, however, your scene is simple enough that any render time efficiency hits will be negligible. If you are having trouble framing your image, you can go to View. Then Camera Settings. Then Resolution Gate to turn on a frame overlay so you know where the edges of your render will be. Get your hands dirty and try Maya rendering for free. Visit garagefarm.net/en/Maya-rendering-farm today. $50 trial credits to test the Maya Render Farm service with all features enabled and without any commitment.